Welcome back to Going Walkabout. We're on our way shortly for 6 months in Europe. We need to be in France in September for the Rugby World Cup final. So we thought we would start in the eternal city of Rome and work our way around Italy. We want to visit the outer islands like Sicily and Corsica. And then we were thinking we would maybe go up to the Spanish islands like Mallorca and Malaga. Possibly jump over to Barcelona, and then over to France, visiting Avignon and Lyon, ending in Paris for the World Cup final. To make this 6-month journey, we will need to take planes, trains, ferries, and cars. We will need to travel in the more crowded places for tourists, like Rome, in May before the real crowd set in June, July, and August. Getting ready for the trip has made me see that there are some pretty important things to know before you undertake a journey like this to Europe. In this video, I'll go over 7 things I learned that can help you have a less stressful, more enjoyable trip. Before we start, let's go over a few fun facts about Rome that I uncovered. Rome was founded in 753 BC. It's older than Italy, which didn't really become the Italy we know today until the late 1800s. I was surprised to find out that Romans have pussy protection. Cats have special rights. They are protected by law and can spend their lives wherever they want. Many gravitate to the ruins, like Largo di Torre. Must be that there are loads of mice around the old ruins. These moggies look well fed and absolutely delighted. Fact number 3, Rome is home to the largest university in Europe at over 110 acres. La Sapienza University, founded in 1303, supports over 120,000 students. Rounding up with fact number 4, the Eternal City has over 900 churches and 2,000 fountains. The fountains are more than decoration, and the water can be used for drinking, even up to today's standards. So now, let's go over the 7 tips to know before you go to Rome, starting with the least important at number 1. Tip number 1, you'll need to buy the correct plugs so that you can charge your devices. Thanks to Mr. Tesla and Mr. Edison, we have different electrical setups in the United States compared to our friends in Europe. In Italy, as in much of Europe, they use Type-C plugs. There are just 2 prongs on a Type-C plug. We bought our plugs off Amazon. We got 2 so we each have something to charge our devices with. We got one that can actually have USB ports plugged in at the top as well, allowing for more devices to be charged at one time. We also bought a plug that allows for USB devices, and that can be plugged into the Type-C adapter. Tip number 2, the coffee culture in Rome, as in all of Italy, is huge. There are tons of options. However, the top thing to know is that Italians don't drink coffee with cream or milk after 11 a.m. They enjoy their coffee with cream early in the day and never after a meal. Note to self, don't order a latte or you'll actually get just a glass of milk. Number 3 tip, we have packing. As many of you know, my favorite subject. Getting around Rome and Italy will require a lot of transferring from trains to hotels, staying in smaller hotel rooms that can't accommodate large suitcases, and running to get ferries, all while trundling over ancient cobblestone streets. I'll show you what I'll be taking for the next 6 months, hoping that it'll be sufficient for the amount of clothing and personal articles that I'll need. Okay, after extensive research, this is what I've landed on to take for 6 months of travel. Hopefully it'll work out. I'm going to be taking this particular Eddie Bauer bag. It's got 3 compartments. It has a lower compartment that I can put jackets and shoes in, and then it's got an upper compartment that I can keep most of my clothes in, which I think will be really handy. And then it's got some small compartments for other small items of clothing. Now, what else is going in there is going to be my daily purse. I did buy this new purse off Amazon. It was $59. It is a messenger type bag style. It's ballistic nylon. It cannot be cut. Pickpocketing apparently is very bad in Italy. So everything on here has got locked zippers on it. And obviously you're wearing it on the front of your body. It's going to be pretty hard for somebody to get a hold of. This will mostly be inside my suitcase until we get somewhere, and then I will use it as a purse as we're walking around and so forth. Now, as far as traveling on the plane, trains, automobiles, I've got this large bag I just purchased, again from Amazon. It was about $59. I'm very excited about it because it's larger than ones I've had in the past, and it is very light, which is important. I can literally put my computer and everything in there, but I did want to be able to put a few pieces of clothing in as well. And I think that it's got ample room for that, as well as possibly some food, water, books, things of that nature. And the most important thing is that it fits on the back of my roller bag. So ideally when I'm traveling, I literally only have to have my roller bag and then have this attached to it at the front. And those will be the only two things that I'll take with me throughout the whole time for the next 6 months. And knock on wood, it'll work and it'll be easy and not too heavy. So then I'll show you what I'm going to be doing as far as shoes go, because that's so important. Okay, we're at tip number 4, procuring an international driver's license. You can use your American license. However, in smaller areas, if you want to rent a car, this might present a problem. You can acquire an international driver's license from our friends at the AAA. You'll need a valid U.S. license and some passport photos. All of this can be done in an afternoon at the AAA offices near you. Number 5, we have something that can be critical to the enjoyment of your trip. We heard from a close friend that tours of the Colosseum and Vatican should be booked way in advance. This happened to be excellent advice. We went online with a tour guide to get our tours and found that even 6 weeks out, many tours were almost sold out. Thankfully, we were able to get times for the 2 we wanted to see. However, it would have been horrible to get to Rome only to find that all the tours were fully booked. So, book ahead. Number 6, well, if you've been watching my other videos, you know I always talk about footwear, and it's going to be critically important for Rome and for Italy on a whole, as there are many cobblestone streets in medieval cities and towns. So what do I bring if I want a pair of high heels, a pair of sandals, a pair of running shoes? Well, let's take a look and see what I'll be taking with me. Okay, shoes are tricky because for women, we always want a set of heels, which in a place that's mostly cobblestone streets and so forth and hills is probably not the smartest thing, but we want them anyways. So I actually have these Sorels, and they actually have a Vibram sole on them, and I've used these in many countries now, and they're not the most attractive high heel, but they're safe and they work and they give me a little bit of a look of going out, so I'm taking those. I use these all throughout Mexico. They are a fantastic sandal. They're Franco Serrato, and they actually work great. They are wonderful because you have very firm footbed and toe, and everything is very secure, so you can wear those on walking on cobblestones, and it's pretty safe, and I can wear those for quite a few miles. I am probably bringing my running shoes this time as opposed to Skechers. I've tried the Skechers and they don't have a firm enough heel base for me. I feel like Skechers are a bit too squishy. Certainly try and see if you can find some that are less so, but I'm probably going to be taking the running shoes, and that will be my shoe that I use for mostly all kinds of exploring. And then lastly, because, you know, us women have to have our sandals and so forth to wear with girly stuff, I'm taking a pair of girly sandals. So all together, I'll have 4 pair of shoes, one of which I'll be wearing on the plane. So 3 shoes that'll fit in my luggage. And I know that's kind of over the top, but I'm the one that has to carry it. So I think it'll be okay. So that's what the shoe situation is. And all of them, bar these guys here, can be worn on cobblestone streets and walking up mountainsides. Hopefully that helps. At number 7, we have booking accommodation ahead of time. I've been using booking.com for the last year, and I really like it. Many times you don't have to leave a deposit. You can pay when you arrive. They also allow for cancellations close to the date of arrival. For these reasons, I am more prone to use their app than any other. So that's it. We hope we're ready. However, we know if we've missed anything, we can pick it up along the way. We're excited for the next 6 months of travel. We hope you'll want to follow along with us on our Going Walkabout videos. If you're enjoying the videos, please like, share, or better yet, subscribe. Next stop, Rome.